So last week I created this video.
Coming closer, know that I'm a mess. Tangled up in wires, I can't catch my breath. I run.
And so in this video, I'm going to show you how I made it, talking through how I went about creating the different characters, how you can actually make them look realistic. I'm then going to show you how I changed the different outfits of the characters, and then finally how I took them into Runway to animate them with Act-2 to get them saying what I wanted, or singing in this instance. So by the end of this video, you should be able to create something similar. Right, so I actually found the inspiration for the starting image in Midjourney. I actually just love the explore page. There's just so much on here, and sometimes I might go over to the search and type in like woman and just find something I like, or you know, the right style that I want. You can click on one, go on the little search feature up here, show you more images similar to that. So I ended up finding one I liked. It was, I believe, this one here. I kind of liked the look, and it fit the kind of vibe of the song I was going for. And what I will say is you don't have to use Midjourney to find your starting image or character. You can use any place and use any image generator to do that. What I find in Midjourney is sometimes they can be a bit waxy. The face, this image certainly was. So what I ended up doing, and I've found this as a little bit of a hack, is going over to FreePic and using the Seedream model. I uploaded my image as an image reference. I then went on Seedream 4K, and I just go replicate this image, keep everything the same. And if I just hit generate, you should see, hopefully, that it will basically replicate the image. And as you can see, it's replicated the image. And why this is valuable is because the Seedream model can generate 4K images. And if you look here, it just feels a little bit less waxy as well. It takes that waxiness off the image. Let me just pull up the other one for you. You can see it here, pretty much kept it the same, but as you can see, just a bit more detailed, bit more higher res. This is just going to give us a better image when putting into the video models. But there is an additional step that you can also take if you head over to Enhancer. This is a great platform for adding extra texture and details to the faces. All you simply do is drag and drop your image in here. I use Enhancer V3 and use the enhancer face, and then it creates this. And if I just show you some examples, you'll see what this has done to this image. So this was actually another image I generated in Runway Gen 4. Also came out with a little bit of a waxy look. Then when I put it into Enhancer, it has added some details here. You can see it changes the lips. However, it still has a little bit of a waxy feel to it. And so what I did, taking that idea of putting it into Seedream, I put this Runway image into Seedream, and it basically generated me this image. And if I just show you the difference here, you can see less waxiness there. You can see now it's a bit more kind of higher res. We've got the details of the cheeks here. And then what I did was then I put that image into Enhancer, and the result was so much better. So as you can see here, it's taken this image that I generated in Runway, put into Seedream, and then put into Enhance. And you can see here the details are fantastic here. Like, as it's got the lips, it's handled the cracking of the face much better. And if I now just show you the difference between the two enhancer images, as you can see, to me, it's night and day. Here, this was the waxy one, and it did improve, like I said, the lips, the eyebrows, and then this was the Seedream one, all from that starting image. This is fantastic. So that's just the top tip there. Wherever you generate your image, you can obviously generate them in Seedream if you want, but if you use an image model somewhere else, take it into Seedream, get that 4K version, then put it into Enhancer, and that's, I believe, how you get the best realistic looking faces with great texture. Then once you've got your kind of starting image there, we want to go back to FreePic, and we want to generate the different kind of outfits and looks and themes of the character. And the way that I like to do this is use ChatGPT. I pull up ChatGPT here. I have put in my image, and I've said, give me 10 different variation of prompts that are different color backgrounds, different themes, but still a woman with same rough composition. And it's given me them. And then all I will do is just basically copy these, and I'll just start whacking them in here. I'll generate 4 at a time. And because image models are just so cheap, I will just keep putting these in and just run loads of them. I find this is just the quickest way to kind of get what you want. And sometimes what you'll find is the images that generated weren't quite right, like it didn't change enough of the outfit, or you wanted something different. So you can see these ones here. I'm not quite sure on the outfits here. And what I'll often do is go back into ChatGPT and I say, I need these prompts to also change your outfit and headwear. You've just given me a theme, it's actually not changing the clothing. In these examples it did, but when I tried it, it didn't. Got some more. I said, make the styles and outfits a bit more eccentric and futuristic. I said, okay, I need them to be less weird. It did too much. Her out, and then it did too less. And so I'm just going back and forth until I get sort of, I'm testing back and forth until I get some prompts that I like and images that I like. Before we go into Runway is make sure you can see the teeth of your image. I had obviously added into the prompt to make sure that she's smiling with teeth, because if you don't have teeth showing in your starting image in Runway, it does weird stuff with the teeth because they don't know what they look like. And once you've just gone through your generations, you've got your different outfits, you're happy with your images, you can obviously just click on one and download it. I was going for ones that were all where she was kind of in the center, as you can see here. Most of them were delivering images where she's in the center, some of them not so much. And then what I did was just obviously download all of those. I took about 10. And then what I did was went into Runway. So once we're in Runway, all we simply do is we take our driving video. So I'm going to show you my driving video, which is a beautiful video of me singing. Try just do a bit of exaggeration on the face movements because I wanted kind of the final output to have those movements. And so what we do is, all we do is just drag our driving video into here. Also you want to click, make sure you're under Act-two down here. Once that's then loaded, it's just detecting our face there, and that's in. And then we also just want to put in one of our images down here. And so what this is going to do is going to take the movement in your driving video and basically apply it to the image and then turn that into a video. Once that's then done, you can adjust the facial expressiveness here. I like to just keep it on 3, and then you just hit generate character, and you just kind of rinse and repeat that for the different images. Here's just an example that I generated, and I'll just play it. Know that I'm a mess, tangled up in wires, I can't catch my breath, I run. You can see that when I actually do a bit more face movement, it does struggle with handling that. It kind of adds a little bit of motion blur and pixelation. So if you do want to be really expressive, you are going to have to just consider that it won't be really high quality throughout the whole of the video. But you see here, that looks beautiful. And the one thing I love about Runway as well is that you can upscale these to 4K, which does make a big difference. If I just find the one that is 4K, it's this one here. And it does just get rid of some of that blurriness and pixelation. You'll also find that, and you'll see that it sometimes doesn't handle gums very well. Like that is obviously maybe not realistic, and that's probably also my fault for being a bit too expressive in my singing on that, you know, word, where in my driving video, let me find it here, I am like opening my mouth quite wide, but it just hasn't interpreted it that well. So you could easily avoid that by just not, like, you know, expressing the mouth a lot. And so, yeah, that's pretty much it. You're just going to keep doing that, upscale them to 4K. I will say you can also use WAN 2.2 Animate to do this if you don't want to use Runway. I've got another video on that which I'll put up here, and that you can access for free via Comfy UI, or I go through some different platforms that are paid. Enhancer actually has WAN 2.2 Animate as well. If you go here, go on Tools and go on to Animate, again, just dragging in the source video and then the character image, and that will do the same job. And then once I had got all of my videos and I was happy with them, I then took them into Premiere Pro, or you can take them into any editing program that you want to. And so here now on my timeline, I basically decided to just use all of the different clips to just give it a little bit more dynamicness. And so you'll see it's just timed on the beat, where it's like bang, 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 da, 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 Duh. You can time it on the beat however you want. One thing I'll just note here is I've got guidelines on here, and this is really important because I want you to keep obviously looking at her eyes, and I don't want her eyes to be moving all over the place. So if you look, her eyes are here, and when I go to the next section, her eyes are there. When I go to the next one, her eyes are in the same spot. When I go to the next one, her eyes are kind of in the same spot. Next one, eyes in the same spot. And this just makes the edit so much cleaner because you're always looking at her eyes. So when it goes to the next clip, super clean, because what you'll find in Runway, when you do these, you will find that there is a little bit of variation in the movement. Not a huge amount, probably 5 or 10%. Again, you can fix this by just playing around with it. What I did with these were obviously originally were all like this. And I basically just went through them all and just found where it just had the sort of best crossover between the images and just lined them all up. Obviously, I went through the different colors, and then towards the end, I just went on the run just to end the edit. But you can obviously do that how you like. You can just use one whole video. I just find that when you use multiple generations, you can kind of hide stuff. And that's what you'll see with a lot of AI edits, is that like try and keep the generation short, because it just is, like some weird stuff starts happening, and yeah, you can hide that by just generating more. But yeah, that's the video. Hopefully that was helpful. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. Fairly straightforward, actually not that difficult to do. It's just lots of generations, lots of waiting around. Some stuff's working, sometimes not working, but yeah, just keep regenerating, find the ones you like, put them on the timeline, time it to the beat, and then you are done.